Okay, let's do it live. Okay, guys, no countdown tonight. We're just going to go in. So, hey, guys, of course, this is me, Doc G, live at Hamilton Radio and all the other channels we are. Chance is not with us right now, but Chance will be here with us a little bit later, is what I was told. So, tonight, acting as guest host and our host anyway, co-host, are Wyatt from Australia and Fascinating Brian. Welcome, guys, to Chance's Chat.
Thanks, Doc. How are you tonight? All
I'm
right.
okay.
That's good. Well, there's going to be a lot to cover because a lot of things have been happening, especially with the Trump administration and what's about to happen in Australia with the elections. So it's going to be an information-packed show. The ladies are coming on, and so is Doc Wiedemann. So, we've got a big show for you tonight. But to kick it all off, I'm just going to tell you about what's happening in Australia with these elections. Neither two of the leading parties, the Labor and the National Liberals, their leaders, Dutton and Albanese, right? Albanese's got seems to be getting the popular vote because Peter Dutton is not very popular at all. But, I'm finding it very difficult to think that there's going to be a majority government in Australia because I think it's going to be a hung parliament. If it's a hung parliament, we've got problems because that's when the Greens are going to be having their influence, and the Greens, as a political party, well, they're all radical left, just quietly. We've got some laws that have been introduced into Australia recently that are not at all popular, and they are affecting free speech. So that is a problem. Now, as we all know, Australia has not been able to talk to President Trump about the tariffs yet. So I'm suggesting that may be the reason. The reason for that would be they're waiting for the outcome of the election. Now, I've already voted. I voted by postal vote, and I voted for Donald Trump. I crossed them all out. I said a couple of weeks ago that I would cross them all out and write in Donald J. Trump, and that's exactly what I did. In the House of Representatives on the slip for that one, I crossed them all out and voted for the GOP. So my vote has been counted by now, most likely. But we are in a very uncertain time with regard to Australia, insofar as who's going to govern and what the government is going to look like afterwards. And it's something that's not really talked about that much. And, well, amongst the circles on the internet and whatnot like that. But I can assure you that depending on who wins and who is declared the winner, they will have to make overtones to President Trump to do something about the tariffs. Now, tariffs are not necessarily a bad thing for America or even Australia for that matter. It's going to force people to open up manufacturing in their own countries. That's what this is all about. It's also about leveling the playing field insofar as the money is concerned with the revaluation. It's got all to do with it. Everything is related, everything. So from that perspective, I'm hoping that we actually have a open and fair election. I'm of the belief that may not be the case. I think the military alliance are actually watching the elections just as they are watching the elections in Canada. And we're the last two for the year that have got to have elections. And insofar as Australia and Canada is concerned, I don't think we can do much about the RV until such time as those elections have been settled. So, there are delays and there are purposeful delays. And we have to know, well, the Trump administration and everything related to the RV and the QFS, they all have to be set. All these sorts of things, little things, niggling things, have to be settled before anything can happen for us. I do believe that there are people going through med beds in the United States, insofar as the military. I've heard that there's a possibility that there are Australian military going through med beds as well. I have not had any confirmation about that, but I've got to tell you, we're looking good. Everything's okay. So it's about to happen if it has not already happened for people. I do know that there are a number of people on NDAs, Chance being one of them. So this may be the reason for his delay. Who knows? But anyway, I'll turn things over to Brian now. Have you got anything special for us, Brian?
Yeah, I actually do. So I will touch base a little bit on like the uptake or updates where there's a lot of RV news type release. But before that, I am going to state a statement first. So again, this is my objective opinion, and you just need to listen to what your heart tells you. And if you agree, you agree. If you disagree, chuck it out. So here's how I'm going to begin. So I'm going to go ahead and give my future condolences to many that are operating with the mentality of avarice. If you don't know what avarice is, go look it up, and then you'll figure it out. Now, the reason why I am saying this, and it's really, really, really important for the collective to understand. So I got a ton of information from someone that I know about RV protocol. Okay. And the language, because I listen to the language, how it is written carefully, how it is given. And I got a lot of red flags from it. Tons of red flags. Just from the jargon and how, like, a perfect example of a red flag where they're saying you need to go through your spam mail to look for redemption keywords, right? Spam mail, in your spam mail. And then you will find a number, again, red flag, spam mail, to look for a notification procedure where you would call, you would make an appointment, you would go in. Now, within this language, it's always, there's a limited space, right? And, time is of the essence, and you need to have this and this and this, and beware of, don't talk to anybody else, right? Or don't do this. So that jargon, that garbage should speak to you as third density takeaways, ideas, right? We know what happens with that formula. And with that formula, you feel a surge, you feel a rush, and then the need to not pay attention. And then you're going to get caught with your pants down, figuratively speaking. So let's talk about what will happen. Let's say you want to play with these bankers. Your data, your information is recorded, and it all does transfer over to the new quantum system. But let's say you only do a fraction of your banknotes, but you don't even get the true value. And you're going by what these people say. And again, they're bankers. They aren't wealth management centers, right? Another keyword. So when you go in, you're going to get lowballed, right? If you can imagine you're testing the playground, but now you put yourself in their system. The QFS is going to know, the new quantum system is going to know that you already went in. Therefore, it's going to kick you out of the other process, the other due process that you're waiting on because you were impatient, you were in a hurry. And then you're calling, then you finally call that number and you're like, well, Why is it that, I can't go to the actual redemption center? I just wanted to test out the bank. And then they'll say, well, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry, sir. You're considered paid in full. You picked your game board. You picked how you wanted to play. You didn't trust. Again, trust. And it has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with trust the plan. In fact, I don't even like that ideology. I don't like it. It's the trust in your inner being to know what's right, to do your self due diligence and honoring your journey with gratitude and patience, respect, and then the energy within your heart space of what abundance means to you. So congrats. Again, to the precursor, my condolences to those who operate with avarice. I'll say that again. So you have to wait. You don't. But you don't get to take back whatever idea that you plan on honoring in your journey. So let's talk about what are the things that that have to happen. 1, face value. Literally face value. What do you need to see? Stock market goes poof, zeroes out, right? Money resets, 1-for-1 ratio. You need to wait on a lot of things, right? Maybe the actual index of what is the reflection of these banknotes, the dinar, all of it. Do you know when it's going to happen? No, you don't. You're not supposed to know. But you're supposed to think about how you want to engage that system in your mind's eye as if it has already happened. You plan ahead carefully. So it's really, really important for self-governance at this point in time. Now, because of these situations and scenarios, and I'm not approving any of it. I'm not even approving all these other aspects of what's going on. Try and give very little attention to it, because you know what you know and you don't know what you don't know. And it's unfortunate, and I hate saying that also, but it's just so true in our reality. I don't like the idea where we're told we live on a round world, which we do, but it's also flat, which is true, but only because we encompass such a small fraction of the planet. So that, I just don't like how they're using the wordplay. I don't like how they talk and tell us about technology and med beds. Oh, by the way, the med beds are going to regenerate your arm within a day or two. That is utter BS. Utter BS. There is no such thing as an immersion tank or a med bed that can instantaneously regenerate without repercussions or deformities, right? You're using a holistic biology. You're using stem cells to grow things within a certain parameter, within a certain algorithm. So let's analyze that for a second. If you are to force a change or a transition, you get anomalies. You get anomalies within your DNA. Same thing. Think about it. When they force, you take an injection, you force some chemical compound that isn't a part of your natural biology, what does the body do? It creates and rejects it, the compound, and then it creates an ailment, a tumor, a cancer, you name it. It's no different with the ET technology. Anything that involves forcing. It doesn't matter if it's forcing changes, forcing ideas. It goes against the collective's natural harmony. It goes against everything that Source represents in the great expansion of consciousness, right? Expansion is slow. It is methodical for many. It isn't necessarily something that has a truly identifiable process where it's instantaneous within a snap. It just depends on your outlook. It depends on who you are and the agelessness of your consciousness. So how you see yourself. And honestly, I see myself like an old sage, like seriously old. And that goatee, I step on that damn thing as I walk because it hits the ground. Shoot, it goes past my feet. That's how old I feel as a sage in my metaphorical expression. And even though I do feel that way, I still get tripped up sometimes. And that's why I said I get tripped over my beard. So here we are. And it's just really going to be very interesting because there's so much work. And now my guides are kind of taking over for a second. So much work that each individual has the opportunity to do, and they do nothing. They really don't. They just do the bare minimum. And it's not that they love you any less, because they really do love you a lot, these guides. And they appreciate no matter what you look like in your age, but you're all children. You really are all children. You don't have the grace, like the natural, organic, transparent grace of the world, of our little bubble, that allows for a natural guidance. It is truly unfair. Believe me, my heart goes out to everybody. And I will say I am very angry and I am very bitter. But even though I'm angry and I'm bitter, I will never, ever, ever forgive what any of these entities have done down here. I don't care if they're dark. I don't care if they are light or they walk the gray area. I will never, ever forgive them because they allowed it to transition and to play this way. Mm-hmm. And I was talking with Doc and how I was telling him I don't enjoy my walks anymore. I don't. I love walking outside, but when I see tons of airplanes doing the chemtrails, I'm like, why? Why have they not stopped? I was like, you can hire task force. You can find people that can create or build subdivisions of operators or operations, right? You go, you investigate, you get the data, and then you give that data to the military, and they can send a simple unit, right? A 6-man team, a chance. And that 6-man team can drive to, we have an airplane field, and the airplane field is not too far from where I live. It's only a couple miles away. I'm not sure if any of them do chemtrails, but you know what? They could send them. They can investigate. They can see, and then they can give them a warning or arrest them on the spot. So you have to wonder why, like all these. So what are they doing? I mean, seriously, I understand that there are operations, and there have been operations going on. And another thing that I would also like to say is if you hear a lot of hopium, especially interstellar hopium, where they're saying we're eradicating all evil, we've saved tons and tons of people, and we did this and we did that, it is absolutely not true. It's just not possible to save everyone and everything. We can't even do it ourselves, which is embarrassing. We can't. The humans aren't able to do anything themselves, because if it was true, we would be in charge. Ding, ding, ding. And we are not in charge of anything that goes on here. And I've heard many great stories of even ET races from the Pleiades rescuing their own people and rescuing other ET races and humans in DUMBs in 3 separate occasions. Do we know where? No. Do I need to be specific? No, I don't. But it's very real, right? But it's still garbage that there's still trafficking. It's still garbage that there's still a bunch of DUMBs left or hidden on what you would call 2nd degree to 3rd degree gradient under levels. When we're not talking about your surface underground DUMBs, there's still more. This planet is a honeycomb of caverns and life. There's life everywhere. Think of your movies King Kong, right? You can see how expansive your so-called hollow earth, if you want to believe that idea, but really there's a lot of room, there's a lot of space, and it's a never-ending process. So what are we going to do as humans to make sure that we never ever involve ourselves in such a way or in such a manner ever again? You create it. You swear upon your inner source, I will never forgive, I will never forget, and I will make sure that everything is documented and recorded for posterity, saved, and I do mean saved, not on this planet's archives. You want to save it in a holistic society's archives, and I'll give you a great example, the Antarians. They would be a great people to save our information, and then you give a copy to the Federation, and you hope that doesn't get tampered with because it's so damn big. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
Thank you, Brian. And Chance, welcome back. Can you hear us?
Well,
go ahead.
Celebration to go to. Can wait a minute. I'm muted. Am I muted?
You're good.
No,
You're good.
Okay. Hey, Wyatt's here. Good. Hi, Brian. Hey, listen. I had a birthday celebration. I knew I was going to be late, so I talked to Brian ahead of time, and I can't give up the shift. Have the team back together here. This is great. Lillian's going to be on, and Doc's going to be on later. And I want to tell everybody, Brian, did you talk with the folks yet and tell them about the double dipping thing?
Yes, I actually did. I gave a nice analogy with a good story, and, enjoy your avarice.
Right. Because, see, I will tell you, Mr. Mark, who, helps me with my paperwork.
Well,
Everybody, I apologize for the Wi-Fi connection Mr. Chance is having.
yeah. Everybody's having internet trouble.
I'm weirded out. Yeah. So anyway, he's. Am I okay? You got me or not?
You're
we
going
can hear
in
you, but you're very disjointed.
That's okay. I like seeing his expressions.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's go. While Chance is getting back, let's go into double dipping.
Anybody? I don't know if anybody can hear me, but if I get Wyatt, you go ahead and talk to him. But I was going to talk to him about you can't take.
The cable guys are probably blocking you too.
Oh,
I can
cable
almost
guys are
guarantee
having
that.
have a fun day today, I'll tell you. All right. Okay. So double dipping is when you go and redeem or do your exchange, and then you go out and buy some more to do some more exchanges. You cannot do that because they're watching you. They are tracking every single penny. All right. So some people are trying to, it's all greed motivated, right? And we got to try and stop that from happening. We've also got a lot of scammers out there as well who are giving false notifications and whatnot like that. Brian was talking about that before my internet dropped out. So you've got to be very, very careful. You've got to double check everything. Now, there are reliable sites that will be putting up the exchange informations or the 800 numbers. Dinar Recaps is going to be one of them. DinarRecaps.com. All right. Another one will be Chance putting it up on his website. Doc, do you want to put Chance's website up on the show, please, so that people can put that into their bookmarks, and when you close to that time, you can go and check to see on Chance's website about what the numbers are. Okay, because we know that there are only going to be a few people that are going to be putting these things up on websites that are going to be reliable. All right, Chance is one of them, and Dinar Recaps is another. So we've got to enter this with caution, and do not get into the mad rush of going into the exchange straight away. I mean, some people are going to have appointments. Other people may not need them, right? So it is very, very important that you use your discernment, use your brain, because if you don't, you're going to get caught. All right. Now, as I say, double dipping is not allowed. You cannot go and do an exchange and then go out, buy some more, and then come back and do another exchange. You'll get the whole lot taken from you if you do that. I'm telling you. So that is your formal warning. All right. We are very, very close to this happening. As I say, in Australia and Canada, it may be a little bit delayed because of the elections. But I'll tell you what, it's starting in earnest. The PED Act has been activated. All right. Now, the PED Act is for the purge of the intelligence agencies. So things are absolutely happening. There's a big purge going on now. AMG News is reporting that. All right. So we've got to get these people under control, the deep state under control, and America is being taken back. Now, the other day, President Trump was talking about the radical left judges who are making all of these rules and whatnot like that. He, in a very, very, very veiled way, alluded to the fact that he could suspend habeas corpus. Now, if habeas corpus is suspended, that means that there is a situation of martial law, right? And these judges will be dealt with that way. But they're trying to do it other ways at the present moment. But, they keep trying to force his hand, or they keep forcing his hand. I can tell you now, martial law will be coming. Now, the other thing about EBS, everybody wants to know, we're going to get the EBS, the stock market's going to crash, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Look, forget about all of that, really. I don't see the EBS going off until at least May 17. All right, at least. There's so much that's got to be done, and President Trump's got to get control of the judiciary. He's got to get control of the legislature, and he's got to get control of the country. And that's not an easy task at all. I mean, people think, he's done so much and it's going to be easy. No, it's not. There are things that are going on, but the RV and whatnot like that is going to happen in due course. You're being taught patience. I've said it before, and people don't like to hear that, but that's exactly what it is. We all know, we've all heard about that the banks on their screens are showing $5.86 US dollars for a dong. $5.86. That's the bank screen rate, right? That's not the exchange. That's not going to be the actual exchange rate. It could be higher. But that is your base level at $5.86 for the dong. So that's pretty good. Now, and like I said a couple of weeks ago, when you go in to do your exchanges and whatnot like that, if they're saying that the ZIM is you're only going to get 30 million per ZIM, ask yourself how much you paid for it, for that one ZIM note. Now, I paid, when I bought my ZIM, I could get 2 for $500. So I get $60 million for 2 ZIM that I paid $500 for. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty damn good profit margin.
Awesome. Yeah, it is.
Right? So don't stress the little stuff. Now, there have been people questioning, different rates for different people. And that's true. They've been asking questions about that. So I'm going to clarify that for you. If you have a project, a humanitarian project, you're more likely to get a higher rate than somebody who doesn't. You may get a higher rate than somebody who's got a bad attitude, because I'm telling you now, they're going to look at you. They are seriously going to look at you. They've got machines that can read whether you're telling the truth or lying, or you're trying to put on false bravado or whatever like that. You've got to put your best foot forward. This is what Brian has been saying for ages about, how you present yourself and getting in tune with your spirit, your spiritual side. Get yourself right with God, all of that, because that's going to translate when you go to do your exchange, because they've got machines. You might see a mirror. You might not. You might just see a camera up in the corner. That camera is reading you, spectral analysis, essentially. So, it's huge what's going to happen, but you've got to put your best foot forward. Now, what about a capital gain tax in Australia? No, they cannot do capital gains tax on the exchange, the RV, on the revaluation. They're not permitted to. It's not subject to tax, from what my understanding is. All right. So, as I say, just put your best foot forward. Visualize what you want from this, what you're going to get, what your outcome is going to be. I mean, this whole Oval Office thing, I'm wanting to see President Trump. I am wanting to go and see him at the Oval Office. And I'm told that at some point I will be going to see him. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but I'm visualizing it. I'm making it happen. This is how I'm preparing myself, right? This is what you got to do for yourself. You got to do 520-741-8, right? 520-741-8. Shalama, shalama, right? There's your manifesting numbers, right? Do that and think about, when you're doing those, saying those numbers out, think about what you want to be the outcome. And the more you think about that, the better it's going to be for you, and more likely that it's going to happen. So, I can't sing Chance's song, unfortunately. But I got to tell you,
Try.
So close. We are so close. So,
all right, hey Wyatt, we're gonna get a karaoke version of my 520-7418 song up there, so we can all sing it together. How's that sound?
Oh, that'd be great. And I got to tell you, Doc, too, by the way, I sent you a video on Signal last night of one of the bar staff at the hotel where I was at the karaoke. Man, she's got a voice. So I'll get you to check that one out later.
Yeah. Give me the information. Sure.
Yeah. Well, I'll send it to you. So I've asked to see if you know anybody who might be able to sign it, because I'll tell you what, she's got one hell of a voice. But
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you what. The next time after post RV, post event, what you're going to see is a whole new category of music. And music is going to be turned inside out and upside down by probably the forgotten artists and the new ones who haven't learned about the past. The new ones, there's a lot of good talent coming up there, but unless you learn about the ones that came before you and learn about their struggles, then you can benefit as an entertainer. You can benefit on the other person's experience and knowledge and get in the same vibe, because, the 50s, 60s, 70s, even the 80s had a vibe that was way different than what we're experiencing right now musically. So
we don't have that vibe now. Yeah, we don't have that.
I love karaoke. I used to do I used to do my own karaoke show, and there was, back in Austin, Texas, we had a karaoke bar called Common Ground. It's gone. It's been gone for 25 years now. But they knew me so well that it used to be an old grocery store, and the host could look right out the front window and see who was coming. And I swear to God, it was the coolest thing, because my signature song was "Brandy, You're a Fine Girl," and the DJ host would kick whoever was on the stage off. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a celebrity in the audience, and he's walking to the door right now." They'd start the introduction to "Brandy, You're a Fine Girl," and the doorman would hand me a microphone. I felt like a rock star, man. And I'd sing it, and the crowd went wild, because I do tear it out, okay? If I don't do any other song good, I do that one good, okay? But that was that was my karaoke superstar moment, okay? But karaoke's a ball. It really is. And it's karaoke does something that other musicians haven't learned, and it's not a competition. It's teamwork, and it's appreciating other people's talents. It's not a competition who could sing better than this one or who could sing better than that one. That's why shows like American Idol, I really don't care for, But Wyatt, good information on the RV thing. It's I'm going to tell you, Wyatt is incredibly accurate on what he said at the beginning of his dissertation. Okay? I am gagged for what I could say, but I will tell you, I wish I could share it with you, because he's right. We are incredibly close, and I don't want anybody giving up. But I do have something I want to tell a lot of people who have turned their currencies over to a group leader. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you've done that and you've turned your currency over to somebody else, it's not your currency no more. I don't care if you got an SKR or not. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Well, I know this guy, and he's really a good guy, and he wouldn't. Yes, he would. Okay, because just remember what Cyndi Lauper said in her one of her songs. She says, "Money changes everything," and it does if your heart's not in the right place. And there's so many people that are getting victimized and having their currency stolen. I know of one lady that's listening tonight, and she's a very dear lady, and I enjoy talked to her many times, and her sister got scammed. And yes, I could have spent 2 or 3 weeks recovering her currency, but the problem was she didn't want to pay me for my time, and she thought I was going to do it. She thought I was just going to do it out of the goodness of my heart. I wish I could, because I've actually got people. I actually have paying clients, like people that call me on credit cards, and their house is starting to get repossessed, and it's I wish I had the time. Now, the law dogs will be doing a lot of free work after the fact, but and by the way, I've got 3 paralegals lined up all ready to go to work once the funding comes through. So I'm excited on that. I went across the street and talked to the guy that owns the building, and he says, "Oh yeah, I'll sell it. I'll sell it because the building that's where I want to put it, because it's got, first of all, it's got a beautiful apartment in it. Second of all, it's got an incredible, huge meeting room, and that's what kind of room we're going to need to set up desks and computers and have meetings and stuff like that. So yeah, we're making preparations for the law dogs. That's happening. That's going to be a thing. And what it probably going to end up doing is, because it's going to be the first common law agency of its type, true common law. Then because of that, we're probably just going to go and franchise it and go from state to state. Every state will have a law dog's office, and I'm really excited about it. I am driving now, and it's really lousy weather, so I'm not looking at the screen. I'm looking at the road. I'm just kind of talking off the top of my head, which is where I talk all the time anyway. I really appreciate Brian and Wyatt coming on. Brian was the only one that knew I wasn't going to be on time, and anyway, we took the family out for supper, and everybody had a nice time, and it was all good. Everything was good, and I wanted to take this time also to thank many people off of the Telegram page that have contributed to helping me with my property tax. Okay? Now, we're working on something for the Telegram group that's going to be very, very special. Okay? And Bernadette and I are working on it. We're going to start working on that next week. And once we get that done, it's going to be more beneficial to everybody, to the people, to the general public even, and people that are having legal problems. It's going to be much easier for them to come through the Telegram site. And I think we might even give a name change, but I think the address will be the same. And we're going to be very, very strict on who we let in. But anyway, we're kind of excited about what's going on there. Wyatt, are you experiencing any military events in your country right now?
No, I haven't really seen much insofar as military activity of late, but they are active. There's more activity than normal, that's for sure. But no, nothing overt, not at this stage. But I do believe it will come very soon. It will come very soon.
Yeah, all I can tell you, get ready, because there's going to be news coming across the pike, mainstream media even, because they're not going to hold it back.
Yeah. Well, as I said, with the PED Act now being active for the purge of the deep state out of intelligence agencies, we are bound to have something happen very soon. Very soon, and that will affect Five Eyes as well.
But, I'm going to tell you where I think it's coming from. I really think it's from the National Guard, the White Hats, and
Boy, he always cuts out right when he's
Right
laying
when
down.
he's got the good stuff to tell
There
you.
you go.
Oh,
That's not surprising.
the cable guys definitely are having fun, but but Five Eyes, the intelligence agencies worldwide are getting done, so they're getting purged because they've got to get rid of the deep state, and they are doing that in earnest at the moment. You're not hearing about it. It's all very quietly being done, but we will see the videotape of it played during the 10 days. Now, we've still got that to look forward to. So, again, prepare for that 10 days. Make sure you've got enough food to last you 2 to 3 weeks. Okay? Because there is the possibility that nothing will be moving at all. Now, I'm told that shipping, there are ships that are supposed to be coming into Seattle Harbor, and they're not coming in. The docks are bare. There's no work going on the docks, loading and unloading. This is going to create shortages on the west side of America. Now, what's happening on the east side of America would be the only person I would know who to ask about that would be Doc. Have you heard anything about shipping and whatnot and ships not coming into the ports?
Yeah, the shipping ports were pretty much empty, and the reason why is because the supply is not coming from China, and it's going to get readjusted with the tariffs. The explanation is because they charge us so much on tariffs. Congressmen and senators have sold this country out for years. We all know that, and the tariffs are so high for our stuff coming out, but nothing coming in. So all Trump is saying, and everybody understand, is no tariffs coming in here. No tariffs going out. Our stuff can go to your place and your stuff can come here. And that's all he wants. But if they're going to keep charging tariffs for here or over there, he wants the same and double over there. That's why you're not seeing that stuff. And a lot of the stuff that you guys know in the shipping containers were children. Children in the shipping containers that people that worked at the docks heard. And they knew this. But they could never do nothing about it. So by stopping the shipping coming from here, now we're stopping the trafficking.
Yes. Yep. And that's intentional because, again, it's like a two-front assault.
Right, Brian. Go ahead.
They need to utilize weaponized economics and the infrastructure in order to do military operations. So, again, none of you need to know anything about anything that goes on when it comes to, like, military aspects. So if you're wanting to know that information or interstellar ET operations, forget it. They're not going to tell you.
You're only meant to know what you're meant to know, and that's it. You know, like we can speculate from here until doomsday.
That's right.
Right. But the thing is, that's exactly what it is. It's speculation. But it's interesting that Seattle Harbor and the East Coast are not having any shipping coming into the country at all. That's going to create a supply chain issue.
Correct.
Okay? Which means that, food and whatnot and other things could be going off the shelves. So get out to the supermarket, get yourself prepared. We've been telling you for years, but people haven't listened because, oh, no, you said it was going to this, you said this, you said that. No, we've been telling you to prepare. We've been like a broken record when it comes to it. And if you haven't listened already, you really do need to listen because these things are happening. And, the RV, when it happens and we go in to do the exchange, that's going to be great. Everybody's going to be loving every minute of that. But we have to consider, what are we going to be able to buy with all that money if there's nothing on the shelf?
And there you go.
But we don't want any.
What's the point of having all that money in that case, really? But to Chance's point earlier about, money changing people, it does. But I don't think it changes the people. I mean, money changes the attitude. If you're the kind of person that would give the shirt off your back to somebody else at your own expense and not have any regard for yourself, you get a lot of money, you're going to do the same thing. Right? You're going to have no money yourself. You give it all away. Then you got people who are absolute a-holes when it comes to money. That's going to get magnified. Money is the great magnifier. It's like a magnifying glass put on you. So if you've got a bad sort of vibe about you when it comes to money, that's going to continue, but it's going to increase. Right? So this is why you've got to get right with yourself. So when you go and do the exchange, when you're being spectrographically analysed through these cameras and whatnot, you can put your best foot forward and get the best rate that you can possibly get, because I'm telling you, it will be a factor. I don't know what you think about that, Chance.
Yeah, I agree. But I just glanced down on my screen for a second to see if I was still on, and the only thing I got to say now, I caught a glimpse of myself on the screen, and the only thing I want to say now to break it up a little bit is to say, I see a little silhouette of a man.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So
I mean, look at that. All you can see is my face. You can't see anything else in the background.
Yeah.
It was just a stupid comedy moment. Sorry. But anyway, no, you're right. You're right. And money does change everything. And if you don't think so, watch and see. Because especially, now this is why I tell people about security and everything, but especially with your family. Oh my, you've got to keep tight lip, especially around your family. If you want to let things go gradually, that's your business. But if you want to have for the economy, it's not good for people to know. And I'll tell you why, because if everybody quits their job, there ain't going to be no stores to go anywhere to, everybody else will stay home. Yeah, stay home. Well, who's going to run the grocery store? Who's going to run the gas station? Everybody's rich and nobody wants to work. That's not what's going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're not going to go into hyperinflation, and we're not going to go into the lazy society. That's not what this is about. And that's why everybody doesn't realize it's going to be a slow rollout. It is not going to be a shotgun start. And if you go in early and you get a sucker rate, then you're done.
That's it.
Okay, you're done. Okay,
Yep.
so what Brian and Wyatt are telling you, what they're telling you is absolutely true. You just gotta think, wait your turn. It's gonna be okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to. If you got any legal problems, okay, I can consult with you. It's going to cost $50 but here's the thing: the PEAT Act it has been enabled, but the thing about the PEAT Act is it can end any second, and when that ends, that's when the military will be out on the street. That's when they'll be making themselves known. That's when tanks will be driving through towns and jeeps will be going through small villages like Mayberry that I live in here in Fort Madison, and they're going to make their presence known everywhere. And if anybody wants a really good read or a good video, go and read about Pam Bondi having that judge arrested during that trial. Because somebody sent me that video and I watched the whole thing. It took about an hour, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And when the judge actually got arrested, when judge actually got arrested at the end of the story, he was absolutely beside himself. And the people he was in collusion with were shirting gold bricks, if you know what I mean. Okay. So, it's a fantastic video. It's great. It's a great video. And I think it got sent to me as a transcript. And then I went on and found the link. So I'll go find it again, and I'm going to try to post it on next week's show. It's incredible, because this is what's getting ready to happen at the courthouse at Yourstown. Okay.
Hey,
and yeah.
You got Doc W on deck. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, yeah. I think Ann's coming on here in 5 minutes.
Okay, so after they're done, then you want him on?
Yeah, just Ann's coming on tonight. She'll be on for 15 minutes, and then Doc Wiedemann will be on for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I was very excited when I found Brian and Wyatt were both on tonight. And thank you for carrying the torch for me for being late and everything. And it's one of those things, family night. You know, you got to do that once in a while.
I've got your six, champ. It's all good.
Oh, I know. I love you guys, man. You guys really are the best.
You owe me later.
Okay.
So I just want to chime in real quick if it's okay. So here's the deal, everybody. Please, you're going to do yourself a great service in not creating stress by trying to figure out dates and times. And I just mean for anything that's going on. And being in a hurry to get to the finish line, knowing when there's no such thing as a finish line. There's no end. So if there's no beginning and there's no end to anything, there's no finish line. You may cross a type of finish line, but you're just moving on to the next destination, whatever that may be. So it's going to be beneficial. And this is kind of like what I see for the future humans. And this is going to be very, I guess, through its dynamic energies, it's going to be polarized. So that much I am for certain. There's going to be a lot of good things. There's going to be a lot of bad things. But it's also a lot of growth and opportunity for the new humans. So what do you think is considered to be the new humans? It's the ones that are holding authenticity, that are consciously aware and awake, and they're ready to create change. They're not ready to see change. They're ready to create change. So, and just for sound of mind, you should make a mental note, those of you that are listening, and ask the question, how does a holistic society operate? That is something to really, really think about. And the reason why I say that is because there is a different caliber in consciousness when it comes to holisticism. So a holistic society knows how to take care of their own race. But at the same time, they also hold a principle and understanding where they are relatable not only to nature, they're relatable to everything. So they have a greater care and concern, and they understand life is precious and important. Another thing a holistic society does not do is force. There is no such thing as forcing of anything, right? Because that's considered ethically wrong. So none of that takes place. But at the same time, there is no such thing as laziness. You can't get away with being a sloth in a holistic society. So it's going to be something that you're not going to be accustomed to, and you're going to have to learn to navigate differently. So, hello, Ann. I'll go ahead and stop there.
Well, you know, you're talking about participating in the new world. This is one thing a lot of people are. Wow. One thing a lot of people are going to have to wrap their head around is they're not just going to sit in a city government or a state government and let everybody wait for the social programs to take care of them. That's not what it's going to be about. You're going to have to get active in your government. And you're going to have to get active, and you're going to have to learn about the 25-man grand jury, and you're going to have to learn about common law punishment, where it's completely different than what we're experiencing in admiralty Maritime Court. And I see we have Ann with us, so I am going to go in the house and get my dogs to quit barking, and then I'll jump back on here in a couple minutes. Ann, you have the floor.
Yeah, well, if I can, before Ann starts, Roy asked a question. Can you please address the Wise account and Dong information? All right. MasterCard, Visa card, which are the cards that are used on the Wise accounts, are ISO compliant, right? They're ISO 20022 compliant. The problem with Wise is, insofar as we're having electronic Dong and whatnot like that, is the fact that everything is operating like this show right now is operating on internet too. Right? When everything changes to the QFS and everything like with Starlink, what will happen is that Wise will not go over to Internet 3, which is what Starlink and everything is. So there is and they are not compliant to go over or to be transitioned from Internet 2 to Internet 3. And that's the problem. It's not because they're not compliant with any of the financial requirements. It's just they're not compliant with the new internet going over. And being that it's an online ledger, it could be wiped when this all happens. So that's why I've been saying to as I found out more, I'm now saying to get your money out of Wise and get the physical stuff, the green folding stuff. Put it in your pocket. All right, and that's exactly what I have done. I have got a total of, I think it's about 56 cents in Wise at the present moment. Okay, but I'm not using it for anything at the moment. But I hope that clears that up for you, Roy. All right, Anne, without further ado, how are you tonight?
How's everybody else doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. How's your dad?
He's good. He has in his next he's slowly getting better.
Good. So we've had several people just joining new on the team, and every time we come on here, some people have just been watching, and when they hear the testimonies, they get excited. And then, now we've had testimonies, the same people using the patches for 3 and 4 months now, and so they're seeing some great benefit and they're hearing about it, and that's really good. Then with a lot of my breast implant ladies, more and more are starting to get on the patch, and they're doing it before surgery or right after surgery, and they cannot imagine that they ever felt as bad as they did and how fast they're getting better. And so that's really a key thing, because a lot of times we get what's called brain fog, which happens with a lot of any kind of autoimmune disease. If you have PTSD or any kind of anxiety, depression, people feel that way. And when you put the Eon patch on, you either put it on your temple or put it right here under your ear. It's amazing that it calms the brain. It takes the inflammation down so quickly that people are able to notice things the same day. They can tell the difference in them. Kids that have autism. And again, I'm not here to make medical claims, treat, or anything. I'm telling testimonies of other people and their personal experiences. So I'm personally not making a medical claim. However, if you do go to startx39now.com, all the scientific studies are there, and you can read it for yourself. But kids that have those issues are even telling their parents, I need my patches, I need my patches. They know that they get a better night's sleep. They know that they feel better because of the patches. And nonverbals are becoming verbal. And that's happening in all age levels, because we've had people who said their family members are in the nursing home and they're not doing well and they can't talk and they're going in and out of things, and they're over time getting better and better, and they're communicating again. And everybody is different, so not everybody's going to react in the same timing. So you have to remember that. And then just know that we're here. We're here for you. We're here to walk you through things. We're here to, if you just don't even know how to place the order online, we're here to help you. And, I signed up 2 months ago and it says that I need to do this and I just don't know how to do it. Will you just show me. Sure, I'll show you. I'll do it for you. Whatever you want. It's whatever's going to make your life easiest. So we're not here to just make a number, sell something. We don't sell. We prove the patches work.
You've got a
Yeah,
real
really good work.
Yep.
Yep.
And you and Lillian do
That's
a
a fantastic job with this. I'm hopeless.
And
I don't know about Chance. I think he's pretty happy with that. Yeah.
If you do sign up for live, you will get all the support you need. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're here for everybody. Chance will tell you, he'll just say, Ann, can you go do this? And then, he knows especially if I'm cleaning teeth, if I'm in the mouth, I can't do anything. So sometimes people have to wait a couple hours, but usually the same day they hear back from us and we'll take care of whatever it is, whether it's helping them transfer money from their account into their account or helping them get the order placed that they want to place. Hey, I want these patches now, and we'll go place the order for them.
Right. And if you guys need your patches, and you want to start, I'm hearing feedback on myself. Then just send me an email, chance@yahoo.com.
And you have
I'll get it up.
I don't know.
Go ahead, Chance, talk. Chance, talk.
Yeah, I'm here.
See, you're the echo.
I don't know why.
Somehow, some way.
Speakers.
I'll tell you what. Let me grab my computer and I'll sign on with that and sign off here.
Oh, it's okay now. What'd you do, Ann? She muted herself. See? It's on your end somehow, some way.
All right.
Yeah, I only use my cell phone, so it's not like I have a computer up or anything, so I don't know.
It's only when somebody talks.
Huh. Well, I did meet with somebody today and they gave me some information about our local stuff. I put it in the chat. So maybe they're monitoring my phone again.
I'm so sorry.
Have they really stopped?
Because nobody can hear you. That's the whole problem. Why? It happened to you too, so I know it's Ann's phone. But let's get back to what we were talking about. So, Ann, when you unmute, you can talk. When you don't talk, just mute, okay? And then we can get through this. All right, so get talk.
It was y'all's turn to talk.
Well, I thought it was yours, Ann. You're still talking about the patches. I interrupted you. I put you off your train of thought.
Oh no, I was fine. So, unless other people have questions, which I can't read the chat when I'm on my cell phone. So you'd have to tell me if anybody has a question.
Yeah, I'm looking for information. I'm just looking at everybody saying echo. That's all.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, Doc, that we do a little bit of a Q&A session for 10 minutes. What do you think?
Never
we'll
a problem.
We'll get Doc Wiedemann on now and get him to do his thing, and then we'll have a little Q&A session, if you like.
It's never a problem for me. It depends on everybody else. It's Chance's show, so I don't,
Yeah.
Well, it's like my wife. My wife tells me what to do, and I do it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if we get we bring Doc Wiedemann in now, if you like, and we can have you guys can have a round table. You, Ann, and yourself, and Doc Wiedemann can have a round table.
Doc, let's bring you in and see what you think of that. Okay, Doc, you're here too.
Very.
Unmute your mic, Doc.
I was trying to avoid echoes.
You're not the echo, though.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, everybody else was echoing for a while there, so I don't know what caused that. But
so what's been happening in your life of late, Doc?
Pardon?
What's been happening in your life of late, and what news have you got for us today?
Well, Marvin is not going to be with us on the show on Monday night because he is going to be attending the funeral of a fellow Navy SEAL on SEAL Team 3. He's going to Washington to the National Cemetery to he's going to put the trident. He's going to be the one to put the trident on the urn for his name is Joseph Anthony. Let me see if I can find it here. Hold on.
Yeah,
No
and
doubt.
Joseph
Well,
Anthony. Hold on. Is there, for some reason my phone.
what you want to remember
Joseph Anthony Quinn. He was an NCO, Navy SEAL. I can't hear somebody.
That's Chance's computer now. That's his fan up there or something. Go ahead. We got all kinds of noises here tonight. Nobody wants the info to get out. You understand?
If you're thinking this show is scripted, you're wrong.
Yeah. This is just kind of very, very. We've had quite a few people enrolling with our system, and now we're getting people to start filling out their follow-up questionnaires and showing some improvements, real improvements with the longevity. And of course, the thing you talked about, getting your vibration up before you go in, best thing you can ever do is get your Atlas in line. I've referred quite a few people to NUCA doctors and had excellent reports ever since, from people getting their Atlas corrected, getting their spine back in balance, So, of course, with NUCA, we're dealing with the upper cervical spine where the head meets the neck. And there's over 28 million or 28,000 ways it can misalign. And so you can't guess at it. You have to measure it mathematically to correct it. It's actually a mathematical correction. There's a mathematical formula that goes along with it, and it's done by the numbers. And there's even one guy in Minnesota that has one of these new cone beam units that kind of wraps around your head, so it actually takes a look at everything in 3 dimensions. So he can turn the skull upside down, and he can actually see how the atlas twists in there and how the axis twists, and misaligns, and he can very precisely realign that. And one individual had very high blood pressure that just came down right after the correction. And the doctor measured him on the dual scales, and he was like 18 pounds off and got corrected and just dropped his blood pressure right down to normal right away. And Dr. Marshall Dickholz back in the 1990s, early 2000s, he had a medical doctor that sent him over 6,000 patients, because of the way he corrected the spine. And he noticed that invariably these people that he sent to that had high blood pressure all dropped to normal and stayed there. And so they did a research project and found that I don't know how many people they tested, but they found that NUCA will reduce blood pressure better than 2 medications. So getting the correction done properly makes a huge difference. So,
Doc, I want to talk about the correction making a huge difference. Okay, I am reminded while you're talking of when you were living here in town. You got to use your own discernment, OC Drum School. You got to make up your own mind on that. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Okay, because what happens if they become compliant. You take your money out. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So you're going to use your own discernment. But Doc, going back to correction, when you were living in Fort Madison, you showed me a video, and I think you really need to show that video on your show Monday night. And it was a video of a guy that came in who could barely walk. And he came into your office. Was he using a cane or a walker or anything?
No. He was just he had been in an industrial accident, and he gave me full permission to use it. Good. The video. Good. His wife was the videographer.
Okay, you need to show that, because after he got his treatment, he walked out like a normal man. You need to show that on your video, on your show Monday night. Because when I saw that I saw it before you ever adjusted me for the first time. I was just like, oh my God. I mean, that's the difference. And I will tell you, I am very, very happy that we have. I get people that want to sponsor the show, and I just don't believe in their products. Now, I've got a new product, but it's not a health product. It's a financial product. And I was brought to it. So certain people in the group are going to be invited to this financial product. And I will be contacting you about that. And that's about all I could say right now, because it's a very it's a very interesting situation. And I will tell you that I am involved in it, and I am still learning. So until I can call you on the phone personally and talk to you about it, there's nothing more I have to tell you about it. Okay. I can't tell you the name or anything, because it's a by invitation only situation. So everybody that's on the show tonight, I will be contacting you as soon as I learn more. Okay. I've got a few Zoom calls to go through, but it's phenomenal. Okay. I mean, here's the whole thing. This was laid out to me. I think it has a virus implants by the reptilians. Could be, Jody. Could be. She has to be the star of the show always. Okay. But I didn't have any red flags go off. My discernment, and I didn't have anything. This isn't right, or this doesn't feel good, or this is no. I didn't have any of that. So that's why I'm having a good feeling about this thing. But I will only contact each one of you individually. And I will not talk about it on the show again, but I am going to be calling you and talking to you about it, because it's, I'll just put it to you this way. It's not a Ponzi scheme. And it's very, very interesting. Very interesting. If you're in Australia, you need to get a hold of Wyatt by Wyatt of Earp at mail.com. That's WYATTOFEARP at mail.com. Doc Wiedemann, let's talk about your show. What's it called?
It's called Wellness Revolution.
Wellness Revolution is on Monday nights at 8:00. I was only able because I've had a crazy week this week. I wish I could tell everybody the intel that I got in this week, but I'm just going to put it to you this way. You don't even know how blessed you are. You don't even know how blessed you are. Wyatt knows how blessed he is. And Ann knows how blessed. Okay, because not only do we have all this wonderful health stuff from Longevity and LifeWave, and go through Ann through me, because what will happen is you will get bonus patches by signing up with Chance and Doc G. Okay. And as far as Dr. Wiedemann goes, I want to talk to you about his minerals. Now, they messed up my last order, but I'm going to keep it anyway, Doc. because they sent me 4 plant-derived minerals.
Oh,
And
that's terrible.
That's awful. You should have seen me splashing it on my face and my chest. It was awful. And I have had 2 really good days this week because of the minerals, but I'm out of the orange stuff. So get me some more of that, get me some more of that orange stuff, okay?
Yeah.
It's listen, guys, by combining these 2 things, it's a win-win. It's a win-win, okay?
I'll tell you what, I started out with the cherry mints and the tangy tangerine, and somebody gifted me some, and I took it 3 days in a row, and man, I felt so much better. It was not funny. I mean, it just made the world a difference. I've been on it ever since 1997. So
Well,
I remember Dr. Wallach would come to the restaurant up there called Finnegan's, and he would sit there in the booth, and he had before him this mountain of pills, capsules, longevity capsules, of course. And he would very methodically put it in his mouth and kind of suck on them and have them go in and out. And then he would swallow it without any water. And he just put saliva all over it. And he would consume all those before he had anything to eat. And I was there a couple days in a row. Now, I didn't know enough to have Dr. Wallach come in and help me build my practice with longevity. I didn't know. I had people that I was referring out to medical doctors I shouldn't have. If I had known what I know now, I never would have. Because I remember one lady, she had a frozen hip and ended up having hip surgery. I could have reversed that, I believe, with Dr. Wallach's protocols. And, get on the healthy bone and joint. You have to clean their digestion up first. And the thing with it is that it doesn't do any good. If you have if you have a failed digestive system, you're not going to absorb what you need to absorb. So, by the way, what we do on our show is I tend to cover chiropractic philosophy, because I think if everybody understood chiropractic philosophy, if a medical doctor understood chiropractic philosophy, he'd be a better medical doctor. They don't
even understand parasites. So how in the heck could they understand chiropractic?
But then
how can they? They're not taught it. They're not taught it in medical school.
Right. And they're not taught that they think that the body is stupid. That's I had a friend of mine tell me that a long time ago, and I've come to believe that over the years after I've seen the crazy things that some of them do. If it doesn't work, cut it out. If your thyroid's not working, cut it out, so that they can make you dependent on thyroid medication the rest of your life.
Hey, listen, I want Ann, are you getting ready to sign off?
No.
Okay, because Ann's holding her hand up. Did I forget something?
No, my phone was doing something, so my camera's over here where I was grabbing my phone.
Okay. Well, what I want you guys to do is tune in to Doc's show Monday nights right here on Hamilton Radio and on Hamilton Radio 1 here on YouTube. And I want you to tune into his show, and I'm going to stop by whenever I can. I've had a lot of crazy stuff going on. Now I'm going to tell you, just between you and me and the fence post, okay? And this only goes out to 400,000 people or something like that. This gets shared everywhere. I'm going to tell you what, my phone will ring for an hour after I get done with this show. And Ann knows I will send her probably 15 emails and probably 5 or 10 emails to Doc. Okay? Because you guys just get all pumped up when you get on the show. And I am too. I'm pumped up. Okay? I'm sorry I couldn't be here on time tonight. But I want to tell you something. These two wonderful people, Dr. Wiedemann and Ann, have helped me so much in this journey to help you. Now, I'm trying to help you financially and give you advice with trust and legally, but and Wyatt has got all of this experience and contacts in Australia, and this makes this an international show. And of course, Fascinating Brian is always ready to talk to you about the spiritual. I almost said spiritual. What's the matter with me?
I get crickets over here in my neighborhood.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. No one contacts me.
Okay. Well,
rare.
we're going to have to do something about that. What are we going to have to do?
Everybody must therefore be spiritually attuned if Brian's not getting any calls.
Yeah. That's what, I mean, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Okay. Now, I'm relaying a story, but I want to tell you this story real quick. Everybody knows, Doc Wiedemann especially, he's read the Bible through how many times? 73?
72 times, yeah.
72 times, okay.
Well, my 74th time, so.
Good for you. Okay, now here's what I'm talking about. Just remember who Jesus didn't like. He didn't like the bankers.
Yeah, he turned over their money tables twice.
Right.
Yeah.
And he didn't like the churches.
He didn't like the Pharisees.
Okay, so what's that tell you? Now,
he did not teach Christianity. He taught ascension.
Yes.
That's a big misconception and confusion among people, and I think that's why. So that's why people tell me I'm wrong when they go off scripture, like very hard line. And I'm just saying those that are very hard line, they tell me I'm wrong, but I'm saying, well, then who was the Christ anyways? And again, it's a title. I think that's the other thing they don't get. Christ consciousness is a title. It isn't his name.
Yeah, that is something to think about. But guys, here's the thing. This is an incredible team we've got here. And Doc G, although he's very tired, I see him rubbing his eyes.
I didn't get no sleep last night. Busy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what. We're going to try to wrap this up on time tonight. So,
you're good. Go ahead.
No, but Doc G, you're a very important part of the team because you give us the platform to operate, and that's why I do so many things to generate capital for Hamilton Radio. And what we're going to do post RV is I want you to pay very, very close attention to HamiltonRadio.net. Listen to it during the day. Try to support what advertisers we have. But what I want you to understand is HamiltonRadio.net is 30 years old, and we're just getting started because we are getting ready to kick butt and take names. And the Captain Kirk at the helm of this enterprise is Doc G, because he's got the experience, he's got the knowledge, and I'm a marketing genius. Wait a minute.
We appreciate you guys.
Attaboy, Chance.
Yeah.
Oh,
but these people are wonderful people. So what I want you to do is, because in the spirit of trying to end on time, I got 6 people here, and we're going to start with Fascinating Brian, and I want his final thoughts tonight.
So here's the final thoughts. Please envision henceforth all the way till the transition. And again, this isn't me speaking. This is what the guides are presenting to you as a recommendation. What it looks like to live in the now moment in a holistic society. Play with the idea, create the idea, live the idea, and bring it forth. into creation. That's it.
Great. All right. Ann, what's your final thoughts tonight?
Everyone just be prepared, have the time of your life, and following up with them is just envision it. It's theirs. It's already yours to have.
It is indeed. And everything is coming up roses. Wyatt, our Australian brother from another mother, what are your final thoughts tonight?
Excuse me. Just wait for it to happen. Don't be in a rush to go and do your exchange. Let the dust settle a little bit first. That's my advice to everybody. And the reason being is because in the very beginning of this, there's going to be scammers everywhere. And you're going to find out you're going to have relatives you've never even heard of if it gets out that you've got money. All right? They're going to come out of the woodwork. And every sob story in the world you're going to hear. Right? So take your time. Don't be in a rush to go and do the exchange. You will get your exchange in a timely manner. But I wear a ring. It's I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can't see it properly. But it's a Templar ring. It says non nobis, non domino, sed Tau de gloriam, Tau de gloriam. All right, and that means not us, O Lord, not us. To thy name the glory. And that is to God. Always give thanks for that. And remember what I said a few weeks ago about being grateful to the people or the entities that have made this all possible for it to happen, right? God, the archangels of heaven, and Donald Trump as God's instrument. Give thanks to God for that. Okay, get on your knees and pray, because I'm serious. If it wasn't for God's influence in all of this, this would not be happening at all. So those are my final thoughts. Thank you very much. Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Doc Wiedemann, what are your final thoughts tonight?
Well, just want to encourage you to understand the above, down, inside out concept. The life flows from above down, inside out, not from the outside in, blow up. And if anybody comes along and wants to try to cure you of something, just remember there are only three people that can honestly tell you that they cure anything. That's the butcher, the tanner, and the tobacco farmer.
Oh, okay. Doc G, what do you got for us tonight for final thoughts, brother?
I have to make a comment to that, because every time I talk to Doc Wiedemann, he uses that same comment, and it makes me laugh every freaking time. But anyway, no, if it wasn't for everybody here, and I include myself too, but if it wasn't for everybody here, this show wouldn't be so wonderful, with so many great people trying to help everybody and help a lot of people out there. And that's all we're trying to do. We look at things differently than maybe a lot of people do. And we ask for your help at some point, at some times, but it's just to keep things going so we can benefit from it. I just want to say real quick, Hamilton Radio has a lot of great new stuff coming on. This is not a promotion, but this also some things that we're doing. We're building up a great mystery, murder mystery type of thing, which is going to be fun. It's going to be a radio play. I have a friend in Canada that's doing it. He's putting it all together. He's doing the images. He's doing the sound. It's going to be great. It's only be exclusive on Hamilton Radio. It's going to be an exclusive show. So that's incredible. And then we've got a lot of other things that we're going to be doing. So just keep an eye on us for in the future. We're not done yet. Thank you, guys.
And thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Gosh. My final thoughts for tonight are I'm just kind of reveling in the community that we've created. Tuesday night, I went on and I talked about how my bad situation was with my tax bill. And now, because of all of you, wonderful, sacrificing people, whether it be $5 or $500, you have helped. We have gotten within $600 of the goal of the property tax, and I've got 2 weeks. And if I can't raise $600 in 2 weeks, then something's wrong. And I'm doing really well as far as communicating other things with other people. And I'm getting more and more clients. And thank the Lord, I'm getting clients that are actually paying. And because I'm just about wore out of free advice. But that's what Doc Wiedemann and I do as constitutional lawyers. A lot of people don't know that Doc Wiedemann is also a constitutional lawyer, just like me. It's just his focus right now is on people's health. Mine is the total package. I worry about the geopolitical, the financial, the health aspect, and the spiritual aspect. I try to wear a lot of hats, like everybody. I try wearing everybody's hat in the group. I try wearing it, and that's why I sometimes dribble the ball and lose it. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay to fall. It's okay to fall. Just pick yourself back up, brush yourself off, and get back in the game. Okay, that's all that matters. And that's why the support that I get from these people are just absolutely phenomenal. And the support I get from you guys is phenomenal. I'm very grateful. I'm very appreciative. If you want the RV protocol papers, send $50 by Cash App to $McFadden Chance, or buy $50 by Wise to my email, chancemusic@yahoo.com, and I'll send them to you by email tomorrow morning. Okay? We've got just phenomenal group. I'm very apologetic I was late today and I had all the interruptions because I was traveling to this destination. Now everything's stable, but I'll try not to do that to you guys anymore, because I know how many people literally sit on the edge of the seat and wait for this show. I hear about it all the time, and I get cards and letters from, and this isn't an insult by any means, but I get cards and letters from people all over, little old ladies. And my highlight of the week is turning on and watching you on Hamilton Radio 1, and then they'll if they've got $5 to send, they'll send $5, or if they've got $20 to send, they'll send it. And it just when I get these cards, I just sit there and I think, I hope I'm deserving. That's just what I really think. I hope I'm deserving of the adoration that they seem to be, that people give me, because I didn't want to be a celebrity. I didn't want, I didn't want this kind of attention, but what I wanted to do was help people. And that was the only thing I had was my intelligence and my intel. And that's why we're doing this show. And I've just been blessed to pick up some wonderful people along this journey. Fascinating Brian was the first one. Doc G and I talked about this 30 days before. And then finally I said, let's do it, and my first show was terrible. I hope you destroyed it, because you want to talk about somebody stumbling and sliding on the concrete for 30 feet. That was me, face first.
No, you can't delete it. The internet has a very long memory.
Yeah, I know.
I'll rewatch it with you and cringe together. How's that sound?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. But
and ditto on that, what you said too, Chance, because a lot, everybody hangs off what I have to say too, and I'm just an average Joe. I didn't want the profile or anything like that. And I'm same as you. I just wanted to help people through this mess, guide everybody through. But you know what? It's been a very worthwhile process. Not much of a fan of all of the adoration and all that, but it's a process that I've gone through, and it's made me a better person. It really has. It's just made me a better man for being able to do what I've been able to do. So I want to thank everybody, because for all of their nice kind thoughts when I had my heart attack, and then when I had that minor op and all that. So yeah, thank you.
Yep. Well, it's a beautiful thing what we've created here, and I'm just pleased as such, and I'm just sorry I got in late tonight. But listen, guys, if you want the RV protocol papers, I could send them out tomorrow morning. Okay. I suggest, and I know it's endorsed by Wyatt to get them, because they teach you a whole bunch of stuff that you haven't learned yet. And there's only so much we can tell you, and so many people don't take notes. This is going to get you more prepared than anything that we've done, except for giving you the two things about selling your currency into the trust and having the trust give you a receipt. We went over that this week. GetDocsMinerals.com. HealthReform90@gmail.com is Doc Wiedemann's email address. HealthReform90@gmail.com. His phone number is 406-270-3754. My email is chancemusic@yahoo.com. You can get a hold of me, and I will forward your information on to Ann. Make sure you give me your phone number so Ann can call you personally. And the same way with Dr. Wiedemann. Okay? So get your phone number, give me a call, or give me an email at chancemusic@yahoo.com. I'm trying to cut down on my phone calls. Everybody's got my number anyways. So I might as well put it in the Webster's dictionary, because or Google. Oh, I'm on Google. Anyway, I love you guys. I really do. Wyatt, I love you, brother. I love you, Doc Wiedemann, my brother from another mother. Fascinating Brian. He's my first one. He was my first permanent guest. And when I had my first conversation with him, I go, holy crap, I'm getting ready to do a radio show. I need to have this guy on here. And I'm not kidding. And he kind of, what? But he embraced it, and he's here for all of us, okay? And I can't even tell you, I appreciate you so much. When you and Lillian called me that day, I just about fell over, because I tell you what, I didn't know a damn thing about LifeWave. And now here I am helping people. I'm making money, and I'm helping other people make money, and I am helping people increase their good health. Okay? Doc G, without you, this whole thing would not exist. Many thanks, brother. Thanks. I'm not worthy.
I'm not worthy either. I'm not worthy either.
520-7418.
520-7418. Shlama, brother. Shlama. Okay. I'm going to see you guys all next week. I will be here on time, and we will have no interruptions unless I get bring. Keep your fingers crossed. I love you guys. God bless. Good evening.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.